Let's go to the
Oh,
best
the
series in the
last one.
first round, of
Oh my
course.
goodness.
Save the best for save the best here for our last first round series, the number 4 and 5 series, the between the Clippers and the Mavs. So again, series,
Probably one of the more bizarre series I've watched.
yeah. I
One
mean,
of
road
the
teams winning, and
first
then
6 games.
yeah, finally, and then Luka went crazy in Game 7, and yet they lost. Right? Like Luka, whenever Luka went crazy, it
Oh,
was like a sure win. But then Luka went crazy in Game 7, but still they lost. Okay, so let's talk about the Mavs
oh yeah.
first before we go to the Clippers. What can we say? Well, we don't have to talk about Luka Doncic anymore. He's super nakakaluka. We have to talk about the kristaps porzingis. Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
I
And he's now complaining that he was just an afterthought. I'm
afterthought.
sorry, but I have to
I didn't.
disagree. Right? He had all the
He's
opportunities
a
in the world. 7-3 playing like 6-5. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
he's a shooting guard. He's playing like a shooting guard.
I think it
I
was
think
uncalled
th-
for that he said that he was an afterthought. I think he had many opportunities, especially when Luka was not playing or when Luka is
oh
resting.
yeah.
But then he just didn't. He just wasn't aggressive enough, right? And to the point that Tim
I think he
Hardaway,
should have posted more.
yeah, come on, man, you're 7-3. You used to be. I mean, he was an all-star before, right? Don't
Yeah,
tell
with
me
the
that.
Knicks, it was good.
And come on, Jonas. On paper, if you look at that Mavericks lineup, on paper, he's obviously the second best player on that team, hands down. But look at what
Oh yeah.
happened. Tim Hardaway Jr., with all due respect to that guy, has become their second best player. Right? When during the trade, Tim Hardaway Jr. was just a throw in that trade when they got Kristaps Porzingis.
Kristaps Porzingis.
So that is
Yeah,
really
it's now known as a Tim Hardaway Jr. trade.
yeah. So I think that's why Kristaps should. I don't buy what he was saying. This is not me being racist or anything. I just
Oh yeah.
didn't see him, do his part. Meaning he had all the opportunities to be aggressive. He had all the opportunities to put up 20 and 10 against a Clippers team that was playing small most of the time. And yet he gave us what? 13 and 5.
13 and 5. Oh my goodness.
13 and 5 throughout the series. So that's just not acceptable.
The way he plays just bothers me. Like he just suddenly launches from even deep range and it
Yeah.
doesn't even go in.
So, okay, So what do you think about Kristaps Porzingis? Should they move on from him?
I think so. I don't know if he's gonna change his game around Luke. I think he should accept his role as a second option behind Luka. But I don't know if he's gonna change his game. He likes facing up a lot too often. It's gonna be interesting to see what the Mavs do.
Actually, it's a tough thing for the Mavs because if they want to keep Tim Hardaway Jr., they have to shed some, they have to make money for Tim Hardaway Jr., so they have to make that decision. Should they keep Kristaps? But then the problem is Tim Hardaway Jr., are you going to commit to him as your second best player moving forward? That's the...
Luka needs help. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
right? If you have a Luka Doncic, you have to build the best possible team around him, right? Whatever suits his strengths, you put it there because that's a once in a generation. That's a generational player you have
Oh yeah.
there. Just imagine the Mavs have been very lucky. Dirk and then Luka, right? So they have to
I
build
just hope
something
they
there.
don't. I just hope they don't waste his time there. He's still
Yeah.
pretty young. So
And I think
I just hope.
the difference with Luka and Dirk came in, he wasn't a star. He was a project. He
Yeah, he was
became
a
a star in Dallas, right? It took a while, but then he became a star. Luka was already
Already.
big even before he
Yeah.
came to Dallas, right? So if
Yes.
Luka decides, I want to play in LA or I want to play somewhere else, uh, that is something that the Dallas Mavericks won't be able to do something about, right? So
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
that's something that they have to think about. Now let's talk about the Clippers. Back from the dead.
My
This is my
God.
point about the Clippers, though, Jonas. Even though it was a really I'm happy that Kawhi showed up. Pandemic P probably got vaccinated or something like that. but
That's a
then,
good one.
but then, if you're gonna think about it, they haven't done anything yet that is different from what they did in the bubble. Last year in the
Oh
bubble,
yeah.
they beat the Mavs, and then they went to the second round. It just so happened that the Mavs always almost beat them this time around, and so it became a series. But what they have done so far is what they have done in the bubble, which is to beat the Mavs in the first round. And now they're
The
going to
second
be
round's gonna.
facing a Utah team that is looking really, really good. So let's proceed with that. What are
Oh,
your
so
predictions on Utah versus the Clippers?
I think. Oof. I think it's gonna be a good series. I think Rudy Gobert is gonna be the X factor for the Jazz
Yeah.
because Clippers play small. They'll put Zubaks in there sparingly, but
How
they
about
play
Cousins?
small. And I
DeMarcus,
don't think
the
even
forgotten,
Marcus,
the forgotten
even
one.
even Patrick Beverly's kind of
Yeah,
forgotten. Well, I think he's gonna come back there, but Gobert's gonna be switched a lot, and
yeah.
he needs to at least stay on hold for those perimeter players. For the Clippers, their bench action, the role players around Kawhi and Paul George played well during those last 3-2 games. Reggie Jackson, Marcus Morris, um, even Rondo coming off the bench is huge for them. I think it brings leadership. So probably my prediction. I think the Jazz has more consistent shooters. I think the Jazz is gonna win in six. I have them in
Six.
six. Yeah.
And that this might surprise but uh, I think as long as I have this as long as pandemic P will not have any
Oh.
ill effects from his vaccine.
Oh.
To the point that he will not revert back to being pandemic P, because this is really how I see the series all the time, especially when, let's say, everything is equal. Let's admit it, the Clippers have the two best players on the series,
Oh yeah.
right?
I think
Right? They
that's
have.
the difference.
We always look at it that way. When everything is equal, we always look at who has the best player. The Clippers actually do not have just one; they have the two best players in this series. Yes, I'm sorry, I'm putting Paul George over Donovan Mitchell.
I think that's why this is gonna be also a big series for Donovan. I think this is a
Yeah.
series that he needs
If
to
he
show
can,
that he's actually
yeah, very good. If he can show up, right? If this is the time to show everyone that he is indeed a superstar. Hey guys, thank you for watching this episode. For more episodes of the Dropping Dimes podcast, click on the subscribe button and hit on the notification bell.